What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about what makes a Division I wide receiver successful, okay? So now, a lot of you guys, obviously, a lot of people have dreams and aspirations to be able to play football at the next level, but what is the difference between those guys that maybe play at the next level, lower division, and then those guys that play at the highest possible level of college football, okay? So now, the first thing I want to talk to you about is knowing when to use certain releases, certain moves, and certain techniques off the line of scrimmage and at the top of the route. So many wide receivers, that when they train from the time they're freaking 10, 11 years old, they're doing all the drills, all the footwork drills, the ladder drills, the cone drills, and all that's fine, and you get to a certain extent. But when you get to that high school level and you're trying to play college football, you have to know how to apply those specific techniques. You can't just go out there and just do it when you're training if you don't know the reason why. You have to know the reason why behind every single drill, every single training method that you're doing, so you can apply it to a live game situation. So this is a great example of a receiver not necessarily knowing what to do in a specific case. So we got inside shade press right here, and he's going to be running a fade route, right? So what he doesn't do here is he doesn't give anything off the line of scrimmage. So this is a great example of a receiver getting into a live situation and then kind of, I don't want to say panicking, but maybe seeing a look and then not actually applying something that maybe he's worked on in the offseason, right? So what he does is he just takes off and runs, right? And so when you guys get to that next level, in high school, this may work. In high school, you may just be bigger than everybody, faster than everybody, stronger than all the DBs you're going against, and you might just be able to run around them. But when you get to that next level, especially Division I level, this position, the DB position, gets 10 times better, 10 times faster, and 10 times more disciplined. So you have to give him something off the line of scrimmage. So what ends up happening is he's running, but that DB squeezes him completely to the sideline. And I'm going to tell you this right now from a guy who played quarterback as well. This is an impossible throw. I'm going to have to throw this thing absolutely perfectly to even have a chance. As a receiver, the quarterback wants to throw this between the numbers and the sideline here, but he wants to fade you over there. So on a fade route like this, if you don't execute a move properly off the line and you just run to the sideline, he's going to squeeze you all the way there, get right into your hip, and this is going to be the result. He's going to be able to make a play on this ball. So we got to make sure, fellas, I can't just take off and run. I actually have to apply the certain things that I have learned throughout the offseason that I have trained. So what do you think is something that he could do right here, right? He's got an inside shade look, inside shade DB. What's something he could do? He could attack his leverage. He could give him a move to the inside. He could threaten him to the inside, and that's the next clip that we are going to be looking at, okay? So I'm going to play it full speed one more time. So just make sure, fellas, to be that successful Division I wide receiver, to get to that next level, you actually have to apply it. I've seen it time and time again. Receivers will come off the line, they'll see a look from the coverage, and they've worked it in the past, but they don't know when to use it. You got to know when to use the moves. Again, at a certain age, you guys are all going to be strong enough, have the ankle stability, knee stability, leg strength, all of those things to be able to make fast cuts, to be able to be explosive at the top of the route. But can you actually apply it? And that's the difference between a great wide receiver and just an average wide receiver who will get away with things at the high school level. Okay, so now we're going to look at a good example here from Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. I think he's probably the best route runner coming out of college football this year. But before we get into that, fellas, if you guys are looking to improve your route running skills and your press release ability, check out that very first link in the description below for our route running Bible. What you'll get access to is 2 of our programs. For one, we are going to be giving away our Improve Your Route Running in 10 days. It's a 10-day training schedule for wide receivers to improve their route running in only 10 specific workouts. It's a 2-week-long schedule. All the sets, repetitions are all mapped out, and we give an instructional video explaining each drill, and you get access to our 20 press release 50-minute long video where we explain 20 press releases, when to use each one versus each coverage, and then drills to work on each one with sets and repetitions. And we include live examples from NFL wide receivers using the press releases. So if you guys want some more information on that, check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get back to this video. So like I said, what a successful wide receiver does is he's actually able to apply things that he learns, right? So Garrett Wilson is extremely fast, extremely explosive wide receiver, and he's probably quicker than this DB. And what he probably could do is he probably could just run around this guy. But at the next level, guys, everybody's fast. Everybody's explosive, right? Even if you are faster than a guy, even if you can just dust a guy behind, you still have to work those specific techniques off the line because we want to build those good habits, especially in the offseason, especially if you're playing 7-on-7, you're doing a lot of one-on-ones at camps, what have you. You have to make sure that you're applying these techniques so when you go up against a DB who's a little more talented, or when you're trying to showcase your skills on film to a college coach, they see that you have these skills. So what does he do right here? He's running a fade, so he attacks the DB's leverage. Let's move him off the platform. Let's create some space for my quarterback to be able to actually fade me back to the outside. So again, inside shade, kind of like catch technique, maybe 2 to 3 yards off. That DB, if he's inside shade, what's he trying to do? He's trying to protect the inside. He does not want you to go to the inside. Same thing when he's pressed. If he's pressed up and he's like, let's say we're on the ball and he's maybe pressed up a yard off inside shade like so, he's trying to do the same thing. He's trying to force you to that sideline. He's trying to think that you just have the outside release and just go run, just like what that last receiver did, and you see the result. So we have to make sure that we threaten him where he doesn't want me to go. And that's the example right there, fellas. You see all elite wide receivers do stuff like this. They know when to execute the moves. It's not just about doing the drill work. It's not just about building strength. It's about actually being able to execute it and knowing when to do certain movements. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Wilson attacking off the platform, giving that crossover move, and then being able to accelerate back to the outside. So next thing we're going to be looking at here is this release from this wide receiver. Now, the second thing that I feel a lot of elite wide receivers can do that are able to play at the Division I level is get off a physical press DB. Okay, so this is something that a lot of people struggle with, and a lot of people don't know how to actually do this. But I know from some of the college guys that I've worked with in the past is that when they're off the ball, it's easy. But the thing that they struggle with is when they get on the ball, they got a bigger linebacker, safety type, or a corner who gets real physical, who has good technique. It's harder to get off the ball. So how do you combat something like that? And that's what they're looking for at the next level. Are you that guy who can get off a press? Because maybe in high school, you don't see a whole lot of press coverage. You don't see a whole lot of DBs who like to get hands on. But at the next level, you bet your bottom dollar that you're going to see something like that. You're going to see DBs who are more talented and have the confidence to actually get hands on a wide receiver, not just play 8 to 10 yards off like they do in youth ball or in high school ball, right? So it's watch at full speed. So this receiver displays a great example of how your base and how your pad level will help you beat a physical DB off the line, right? He just runs a post route and ends up catching it. That's why I cut the clip a little bit close there. But when this DB is here and I'm coming off the line, especially if maybe you're on the taller side, right? And this guy's going to get real physical. He's going to try to get low. When I make any kind of release, I want to make sure that I am in a good pad level position and my base is somewhat like kind of outside my shoulders. Think of it like you're on a skateboard or a surfboard and you're trying to balance, right? Your feet aren't super close together on a surfboard. I don't know how many of you surf, but your feet are not also super far apart. They're just kind of shoulder width apart because that's that balanced position that we want to get to. Because think about it. If you're standing there and your feet are super close together, you're going to be straight up in the air with your chest. If somebody pushes you, you're probably going to fall over. You widen your base a little bit, bend your knees a little bit, you're going to have a little bit more of a give. So if that guy gets hands, you're not going to fall over. So anytime I'm off the line and I'm facing a physical guy, that's the position I have to get to. So if you're looking to take those releases to the next level, whether you work a wide step, a 1-2, a split release like so, let's get to a good base, be in a good pad level position. So if that guy gets hands on me, it's not the end of the world. I could just shrug the hands off, I could combat the hands, and then I could work back up to get into this route. Make sure, fellas, two things that they're looking for to play at the Division I level in a wide receiver. Have to apply what you know, not just do it in practice, not just do the drills. You actually have to apply it in a game situation. Don't rely solely on your speed and your strength. And then secondly, you have to be able to get off of press. If you're a high school receiver and you don't work press because you're like, oh, I never see press, you're doing it wrong. You need to be ready for these situations because let's say somebody tries you in a game in high school. That is a great play to put on your highlight tape, and your highlight tape is what's going to get you recruited. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job keeping a good base, having a good pad level, and getting off that aggressive physical jam right there and making this play over the top by this wide receiver. All right, guys, really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave that in the comment section below. We'll get back to you as soon as I can. I always appreciate the feedback. It is always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you would like access to our Route Running Bible, over an hour and a half's worth of content on how to improve your route running in 10 days and learn 20 press releases, when to use each one, and drills for each one, check out that very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.